Chapter 1 Child Creative. This is Tosin. She believes in the power of design and has committed much of her life to studying how to communicate an intention through beautiful visuals. The path to where she is now has been winding. This story began with a once constantly distracted, endlessly babbling, and intensely creative itty-bitty version of Tosin. She was 37 pounds of bravery, eccentricity, audacity, and ambition. But where did that Tosin go, and how did she grow? Well, that's a story for the next chapter. Chapter 2 Snowy Meagher Suburbs. Our girl grew up in a snowy and meagre suburb in the Canadian prairies. Her childhood was set in the countryside, and she attended quaint local schools. Something about this suburb is that it was very, how do we say this, blanc. Her family was the only black family in the town, and she was the only black girl at her school. So, to say the least, she was not so similar to her peers, and she became increasingly conscious of this as she grew. After years of grappling with her culture and how it clashed with the lifestyles of her peers, she came to a point of embracing her novelty. She became unapologetic in her expression and already had the seeds of being an activist and creative industry disruptor blooming inside her as she moved through her second decade Earthside. 2 parts artsy, 1 part nerdy, with a dash of delinquency. These were the ingredients that made up a teenage Tosin. In high school, she accelerated through her core courses to make room to take advanced fine arts classes. Her love for beautiful visuals was fostered and grown through these formative years by teachers, family, and other elders who identified her gifting and emboldened her to pursue and develop her talents. So, with this encouragement, at age 17, she mustered up all of her courage and belongings and moved from her tiny town to the city of Vancouver. Chapter 3 The Academy. This is Tosin. She moved to the city of Vancouver at age 17 from a tiny town in the Canadian prairies to pursue her dream of becoming a creative genius rock star. In her undergraduate studies, she learned the fundamentals of sculpting, contemporary and fine arts, architecture, landscape design, urban planning, and the history of all these fields. There was a good amount of math and physics in there too, but we won't discuss that. With this diverse knowledge base, she applied to all the best design schools to pursue a master's degree and ended up at the Harvard Graduate School of Design. Here, she studies and teaches architecture and branding. Her graduate studies have been an exercise in finding ways to break out of the cycle of overwhelm that comes with studio work and prioritizing health over the brink of burnout Olympics that architecture school is. At a point, she came to an epiphany that the stress had less to do with an ambition to learn more, but rather, deep down, she wanted to have the best deck of work pinned up so that people would know she is intelligent and creative. Then she could reassure herself that she was worthy of being there. Since realizing this, she has been of an imperfect pursuit of work-life school harmony, becoming more intentional about managing her time, pausing when anxiety and overwhelm set in, maintaining even if it means disappointing others, going to sleep when her body asks, finding time for community and faith, and having fun in the process. And as a message to all students, entrepreneurs, and hustlers, you did not step into this to destroy yourself, but to learn, grow, and unlock a lifestyle you aspire for. It is never that serious. Living beautifully and loving radically, that is a life lived abundantly. Chapter 4. A Business is Born. This is Tosin. In the year 2020, amidst layoffs and cancelled opportunities, she founded her own design agency called Atelier Tosin. What started as a side gig, an extra income source to fund her degree, grew like bamboo into an enterprise that houses 4 artists. To support her well-trained visual sensibility, Tosin began to attend MIT's Sloan School of Management, where she studied marketing, psychology, behavioral economics, and brand strategy. Born from a desire to add beauty to the world, the Atelier collaborates with individuals and companies that a young Tosin could have only dreamed of being in contact with before. Here's to the little Tosin who navigated through cultural identity questions, pursued academia with discipline and rigor, grappled with the desire to fit in and stand out at once, and spent hours creating in many forms, sharpening her artistic eye. For the groundwork she's done will not be in vain.